This is Neil Schneider for MTBS TV at GDC 2015. As you can see, I'm breaking a bit of a sweat here, a little bit of a sweat. And to explain why is Matt Long, who's CEO of Realm. CEO and founder of Realm. Welcome to the program, Matt.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
So tell us about Realm.
Well, as you can see, as for the game that you've just been playing, it's a gaming peripheral that requires you to exert some energy and to put some force into gaming. And that's really the point of what we're doing, is trying to add force to gaming. And the way that we can do that is we can measure the amount of force that a player's using by, we've got sensors in the hand grips here. And these sensors work with the camera, and we can merge that data, and we can figure out exactly how much effort you're putting into every move that you make. So really that's the first time ever that that's happened in gaming.
So just to put a bird's eye view on this, there's all kinds of controllers in the virtual reality world. And I take it what you're doing here that's different is you're creating a resistance. So why is that resistance so important?
Because without resistance you can't measure force. You know, you need resistance to measure force. So this is the first piece of technology that's been able to measure three-dimensional force. And then what that can mean is that it can determine the outcome of screen-based games. So it's like the real world. If you want to hit a baseball out of the park in the real world, you have to put a lot of force behind that swing. And that would be the same in a baseball game that uses this system. If you put a little bit of force into it, you're going to hit that baseball about 10 feet away from you. If you put a lot of force into it, you're going to hit the baseball out of the stadium.
So I was just playing Zombie Sushi, a very appropriate name. By the way, did you code that internally?
Yes, we did. Yeah, we're not game developers either, by the way. We're technology, so that's why it's a pretty rudimentary looking game, but you know, it gives you the idea.
Still lots of fun, very good way to get rid of a lot of frustration in the world. But I noticed that as I was playing the game, you know, if I was wimpy with the game, I didn't have much luck with the zombies, and if I was far more exuberant, the zombies began to disappear. Just like the real world, if you had a sword and you really had zombies running down the street at you, and you only used a little bit of force with your sword, you're going to give those zombies a little bit of a tickle, and you're going to be mowing down. If you want to kill the zombies, you've got to use the real force that you would use with a real sword in order to kill those guys, Now, as far as the tracking is concerned, so you've got this controller that you hold in your hand, plus there's this rubber band that connects to your stomach or your waistline. Can you explain how everything is related? So the band, we know the loading. Hold it up for the camera, so we know the loading that's on the band. We know how much force is required to move this band from point A to point B. So as we go from there to there, we know how much force, because we can measure the distance and the speed and the acceleration that you're moving, and then we can determine the force. Okay, very good. And what about the positioning of the actual handle?
Positioning works with the camera, and that can be a Kinect, but it doesn't have to be a Kinect. It could be a webcam, and we can enable your webcam to have motion tracking on it. So that's really what the camera is doing, is your body position in space, and then it's merging it with the data that's coming from the sensors, and it's putting those things together to give you the force equation.
Now, one of the big challenges with controllers like this is latency, right? If there's any delay between what you're doing and what you're seeing, it's going to be a big problem. Are there any latency issues with this controller?
No, because we've got an algorithm. The way that we're merging that data is that we're actually speeding up the camera system so that it's actually working at about 100 frames per second, and we're merging that data together in a way that gets rid of the latency, gets rid of any lag, and it also puts you in space in a more accurate positioning in space as well.
Okay, very good. Now, I know this Zombie Sushi was coded internally. What's involved in actually coding for this apparatus?
Well, it's a.
Let me rephrase the question. Do you have like a software developer's kit?
So we've got a full SDK that goes out with the developer kit, and it's a cross-platform kit. It was built in Unity, but yeah, it can work in pretty much any system. Yeah.
Now, I gather this is very new to the market. I take it you've got a Kickstarter going on now. So when did the Kickstarter begin? How much money are you looking to raise?
We're looking to raise about $160,000. So we'd love people to jump on there, buy a kit. We've got our 6 basic games, our demo games that we've put on there, which are Zombie Sushi that you've just been playing. There's a multiplayer boxing game. There's more of a fitness type of a boxing simulator on there. So there's a bunch of games there, but we're also looking for game developers to get on board and think about ways that they can use force in game design. So like the example of a baseball game or anything really. I mean, if you think about the real world, you need to use force in the real world. If you want to climb a ladder, there's obviously, you know, there's force involved, there's effort involved in doing that. And that's really what we're doing, is putting that effort into the gaming world rather than just waving your hands around in midair. So, yeah.
Now, in this case, I was working in front of a television. I hinted about VR. Is this something that you see fitting for virtual reality?
Yeah, sure. We've actually got this game, Zombie Sushi, working with Oculus. So, yeah, we've got, and what that does too is that we can put your whole body into the VR world with the system as well. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Lots of fun. I wish you great success with this.
Thank you for having me.
This is Neil Schneider for MTVS TV at GDC 2015. We will, of course, be back with more. Thank you for watching. Oh, one more thing. You watched me play. How'd I do?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. I think you might have actually got the high score of the day. So, yeah, well done, Neil.
Okay, you see, I wanted that on record. You see, the sweat wasn't for nothing. Okay, we'll be back with more. Thank you for watching.
Well done.
How many weights are there?
You can keep going. You can get played up, yeah.
I gotta.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I got it.
You got it?